When I was 8 years old, my parents forgot to pick me up from school. At least, that's what everyone told me. Your mom's probably stuck in traffic. Your dad's probably working late. My teacher kept saying things like that while the sky outside slowly turned dark. One by one, every other kid left. The janitor vacuumed the hallway. The office secretary locked the front doors, and still nobody came for me. Around 9 p.m., my teacher finally asked if there was anyone else she could call. I gave her my grandma's number. 20 minutes later, my grandma rushed through the school doors wearing slippers and a coat thrown over her pajamas. The second she saw me, she hugged me so hard I could barely breathe. Then she whispered, "They really left you." I didn't understand what she meant back then. I do now. My parents were drowning in debt for years. Bills, gambling, constant fighting, everything was falling apart. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, they decided I was one more responsibility they didn't want. So they packed up, left the state, disconnected their phones, and disappeared without me. My grandma took me home that night and cleared out her sewing room so I'd have somewhere to sleep. The wallpaper had tiny faded flowers on it, and the bed creaked every time I moved, but it felt safe. At first, I kept asking when my parents were coming back. Eventually, I stopped. That's the thing about abandonment. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens slowly. First, you stop expecting phone calls, then birthday cards. Then, eventually, you stop thinking about them at all. By the time I was 12, my grandma had become mom to me. Not because she asked me to call her that, because she earned it. She worked double shifts at a grocery store even though her knees hurt constantly. She packed my lunches every morning. She never missed a volleyball game or school event. Meanwhile, my actual parents became strangers. Then 3 weeks ago, I came home from work and saw a black SUV outside my grandma's house. I walked inside and froze. My biological parents were sitting at the kitchen table drinking coffee like they belonged there. My mom immediately started crying. My dad smiled nervously and said, "Look at you, all grown up," like he'd only missed a few weekends instead of 16 years. Apparently, they'd found out my grandma's health was getting worse and suddenly decided they wanted to reconnect. My mom kept talking about second chances. My dad said they wanted to be a real family again. Then he said, "We want you to come live with us for a while." I actually laughed. Then I asked them one question. "Do you know what my favorite color is?" Silence. "What sport did I play in high school?" Nothing. Then I pointed toward my grandma standing quietly by the sink. She knows every answer. Nobody said a word after that. Finally, my dad got angry and said, "We're still your parents." And for the first time all night, my grandma spoke. Very calm, very quiet. "No," she said. "You were just the people who had her." Absolute silence. My parents left about 10 minutes later. After the door closed, my grandma started apologizing for letting them come. I looked at her standing there in her old slippers with flowers still on her hands from baking earlier, and suddenly I realized every real memory I had of love belonged to her, not them, her. So I hugged her and said, "You have nothing to apologize for, Mom." She cried after that, but I didn't, because for them, that night was some huge emotional reunion. For me, it was just Tuesday after dinner.